Gentlemen, ladies, this is a 1953 Farmall SuperC. It's the first year they made SuperC with fast hitch. Years before that were SuperC, but they did not have fast hitch. And they made it in 54, but in 54 they switched over to the 200. So I've had this tractor for 25 years. I fell in love with it. I still love it. It's a great tractor. It's absolutely a joy to drive. I've done a lot to this tractor. Radiator, switched it over to 12 volts as you can see. Put in rod bearings but not the mains. I put on an exhaust manifold. Got everything to work and work correctly. All of the fast hitch stuff works correctly. I've used this thing to plow snow, plow dirt, farm with it, cultivate. I switched over. The points are now electronic ignition. If you look under the seat right there, you'll see a double acting valve. That came off a 200. That was not on the SuperC. I can't say enough good things about this tractor. It's never let me down, and I've used it in all kinds of weather. You can see that I got the tires in close. You can put them out farther if you want. Oh, the lever there for the raising and lowering, I have the original lever. I put that long one on for my daughters, as well as that wooden block that's on the clutch. That's all to help my daughters drive it. There's no way you'll be disappointed in this tractor. It's really perfect working order. Here's a 2-bottom plow. It's a nice piece. I've got a few miles on it. It saw a lot of miles before me. You see it's all original. It's got some brakes in it. I wouldn't worry about it too much because here's what you need: moldboard, shares, frogs, points, everything you need. Here's a turnover plow, Hillside plow, and I went all the way to Vermont to pick this thing up. It was in pretty rough shape. That we'll call it the wrong side moldboard was in good shape, and I rebuilt the share and the points from parts I had. The stuff on the ground you need to hook onto the tractor to get it to work. A movie is worth 1,000 words. This is just a fantastic working piece, and it's all described in the Servis book. It's great.
Yeah.
Here you see the disc Harrow as they call it. It works perfectly. There's no problems. I want to say that that carpet, that conveyor belting behind it is to keep the garden soil really flat, and it's perfect for planting. So I've used this for a lot of years. The bearings are in great shape. No problems whatsoever. You see I have the manual for it. That's the original manual, 8-page manual. Just been really pleased with it. I put all new discs on it at one point, which I had in stock, so it'll last forever. Here you can see a Springtooth. This is not original equipment. It's homemade. The prongs came off a sickle bar mower. Works great. You put those prongs in all the way, it will bring that SuperC to its knees, I can tell you. The Springtooth themselves are David Bradley, actually, so it's kind of cool old piece even though it's homemade. Here's a back blade for the SuperC. This is actually made by the Servis company, still in business. I made a few modifications to it, that little triangle on top in particular, and that little platform, you can take that off. What that triangle fits is that back section with the dolly wheel, and that turns the entire SuperC into the most delightful back grader. It will grade your driveway within 1/4 of an inch. What you see there is my daughter pushing snow with that grader blade. So this is a must-have item for any kind of tractor like this. Hi, here's the platform carrier. It's a really necessity to have with the SuperC. You can snap it on, carry about anything you want. The original, this is all original except I made an extension. There should be 2 planks on the bottom. I put on 4. You can take it all off. Put the dolly wheels on the back. Sometimes the load's so heavy that you need a little help there. The front wheels come off the ground. Here's a Postholer for the SuperC. It has prongs for the fast hitch, but also it adapts. It has to be bolted onto the axle like the old standard C. So it's a bit of a transition piece from the factory. Kind of cool for that reason. It's a super pain in the ass to hook up. Here's the more modern prongs. All I have are the prongs. I never got the auger that goes with it, so need to find that. But it'd be great to have this piece all set up. Here you can see this is the C72 Grader Blade. This is a great unit, works in gravel and of course works in snow great. That aluminum top plate sort of adds extra push to the big pile of snow. I had to make the pentagon pieces and the arms that go back to your control levers. I'm missing a piece here, and those are the rear points that would help you mount it as a belly grader And here's pictures of the belly grader. It's just so cool. Alright, what would be a Super C collection without sickle bar mowers? Here's one that's been stored inside. It works perfectly. If you guys, you see a lot of these, I know, and not many people have a use for them anymore. Here's a different style one that's been outside. You see the belt is at a different direction. I think this is a C24P and the other one's a C21P, maybe. Any rate, I have 3 of these mowers, and I just want to say, if you guys have never mowed hay with a Super C and a sickle bar mower, you've missed something in your life. Or mow the grass alongside of the ditch out in a rural area. It's just a joy to drive around, and that's why there's so many of these. It was perfect. So you get 3 of them. You can see here the 3-point adapter. This will let you run fast hitch with any 3-point implement category 1. Why would you want this? I don't know, but it was part of a deal. I'm glad I had it. I did adapt some things using it. It works. This is original equipment from International. It's in the owner's manual, so it's a great piece of equipment. Here's the back boom that goes for the Super C. This is homemade, and this is absolutely a lifesaver. I've used this 1,000 times. In fact, when you show up to pick up these parts, everything we're going to load on your trailer, we're going to use it with that particular boom and the Super C. So this is, it'll pick up about 500-600 pounds, not quite 1,000. It's great. Here's a set of forks that go on the back of the Super C, and I cannot speak highly enough about them. These are all entirely homemade, but there's nothing you can put on the back that won't lift up the front of the C, so they're strong enough. And you can adjust them narrow so you can pick up rocks and other things. I pick up pallets with them. I love them. Okay. Here's a chopper unit that has actually got the right prongs for a Super C. I have to tell you, the chopper's really too big for the Super C, but I did use it, and it does fit the Super C, and it's from International. It's a big, heavy farm-all unit, probably meant for a 340 or something. Here you can see a homemade subsoiler. I made it from a single-bottom plow. It was a 16-inch plow, and I don't have the pieces for the plow. I'd like to put it back together, but in the meantime, it really works great as a subsoiler. I have to tell you guys, it's kind of heavy, hard to mount, but oh my God, can it make trenches. So it's a beautiful piece of equipment. I would convert it back, but someday. Okay, here you see a middle buster unit. All I've got is the middle buster blade itself, and it's not mounted correctly. It's actually mounted on a spare drawbar. So you get a spare drawbar, which is always pretty handy. Let's move on to the cultivators. You see here, these are stored inside right now. This is 2 entire sets of cultivators for the front of the Super C. So I'm showing you all the left-hand sides right now. Like I said, there's 2 lefts and 2 rights here. Here's a right-hand unit, and I got some use out of these things. It's fun to cultivate. Nothing's more fun to cultivate with than a Super C. That's a known fact. And then I show you, I actually made a, we're outside here. Here's the correct rear mount unit for the Super C. This is from the factory. This is a homemade unit for rear mount that I did before I had the correct mount, and here's one that goes on a standard C. And now we're outside again. This is sort of a homemade unit made from big prongs that are cut down. Well, it's sort of useful to have. Not exactly right. Here's an extra set of big prongs you can cut down. Here are the tire chains for the snow in the winter. And here's a set of small prongs. That's the actual right size. These are the bolts to mount in the front. I've got short ones original and long ones that I had made. And there's the lever. Here's an extra cylinder for remote hookup of the fast hitch. And here's the wheel weights. Here's all the books that come with the sale. And I'll let you just freeze the items and take a look what's here. I list the pages or how thick the book is. A lot of really good information here. And also here's a set of gaskets I have. So there you have it. This is everything that I have on a SuperC. This is flat out one of the most enjoyable tractors ever made to drive. And I can't speak highly enough about it. It's a great piece of American history. That is the first real competitive version to 3-point hitch, and it's too bad it didn't win out, but it didn't. And we have to live with that.